Billie Holiday, hailed by critics as the greatest jazz singer who ever lived. Billie Holiday was born Eleanor Fagan in Baltimore, Maryland on April 7, 1915. Her parents married after she was born and divorced when she was very young. Her father, Clarence Holiday, was a traveling musician, soon disappeared from her life. When Eleanor's mother, Sadie Fagan, went north to work as a maid, Eleanor was left in the care of her cousin who often mistreated her. At the age 6, Eleanor went to work scrubbing the steps of houses and doing chores in a brothel. There, she heard the records of such early greats as Louis Armstrong and Bessie Smith. As she forgot her troubles for a while by singing along with the music, she began to call herself Billie after Billie Dove, a popular actress of the day. When Billie was 10, a grown man tried to rape her. He was sent to jail, but the judge also ordered that Billie be confined in a reform school for her own protection. She endured 2 dreadful years in the institution before her mother managed to get her release. She then headed north to join her mother in Harlem, New York, most black important neighborhood of Harlem. Life proved to be just as difficult in New York. Billie's mother worked long hours and had little time to look after her. By the time she was 13, Billie was working as a prostitute. After being arrested, she decided to find another way to survive. But with the arrival of the Great Depression in 1930, jobs became scarce. Long before, Billie and her mother had no money for their next rent and were faced with eviction, searching desperately for some way to earn money. Billie entered the basement club named Pods and Jerry and asked for work as a dancer. The owner quickly saw that she was not a skilled dancer, was about to send her away, but the club pianist felt sorry for her and gave her a chance to sing a popular song of the day, Traveling All Alone. As she sung, a hush fell over the crowded club, and some of the customers began to weep. And when she was done, people threw money at her feet, and then her career was launched. Holiday was fortunate enough to arrive on the scene when jazz was taking hold of Harlem. There was ample opportunities to perform in clubs, theater. In these famous forums, Holiday developed her unique singing style, improvising variations of familiar songs just as the leading jazz instrumentalists did. In 1933, Holiday came to the attention and the influential critic, producer John Hammond, who wrote about her in the magazine and arranged for her first recording date. Holiday's first real breakthrough occurred in 1935 when she had a successful engagement at the Harlem's prestigious Apollo Theater. At this time, she began to record in earnest, doing several sessions per the Briswick label, along with such star performers as Teddy Wilson, clarinetist Benny Goodman, and saxophonist Ben Webster, who she ended up marrying in her life. The records established Billie's reputation in the musical world. She was soon able to buy a restaurant for her mother, and the two of them lived comfortably in an apartment upstairs. Holiday also tried her hand at touring with the popular bands led by Count Basie and Artie Shaw, but she could not adjust to life on the road. Conditions were especially hard in the segregated South, where black musicians were barred from the better hotels and restaurants. Holiday soon decided that she was better off taking her chances in New York. She now in demand as a recording artist. Between 1936 and 1942, when musicians' strike called a halt to recording, Holiday made a steady stream of discs for the Commodore label. As in her first recording, that she was backed by the best players in the jazz and captured at the height of her form. The Commodore side wrote a letter, Jazz Historic, and constitute one of her major bodies of work. In 1938, Billie found the perfect showcase for her talents at the Cafe Society, an integrated nightclub opened in Greenwich Village at Barney Josephine. A 9-month engagement at the club, Holiday became a full-fledged star. combining her sophisticated vocal technique with her raw emotional honesty. She made everything sing, even the most sharp-worn standards. So brand new to her listeners, it was the Cafe Society that she first performed Strange Fruit, a haunting, suffering protest against the lynchings of blacks in the South. When Holiday recorded the controversial song in 1939, she gained recognition not only as a singer, but as a public figure. During the 1940s, Holiday, now known to her fans as simply Lady Day, reached the peak of her popularity. She found steady work in clubs sprouting along 52nd Street, the Onyx, the Spotlight, Kelly Stable, the Famous Door was among the night spots that signed her up to sing before Packhouse paying her as much as $1,000 a week. That's the 1940s. At this point in time, Holly began wearing a white gardenia in her hair, an elegant touch that soon became her trademark. Also made two of her best-known recordings, Gloomy Sunday and God Bless the Child. That is a brief introduction to Billie Holiday. Please share that with the kids. I am a jazz ambassador. I want this music and I want these stories to be told and narrated by me. And I am just one of many who love this music. Thank you, Jazz 313. If you like what I'm doing, please click subscribe and share.